Yellow, as indicated by Liquipedia, which means he's not quite in the top 4 just yet. It is possible that if he lost out or someone else won out, that he could perhaps miss out on that top 4. But right now, he is fighting for his life in this best of 5, and Jaedong is fighting to keep his anger
Damn near
inside.
perfect record, too.
Yeah, he's looking for a 9-1 on the day. My goodness.
That's pretty awesome, considering he kind of like woke up. He was, I mean, they were playing by the time I already got here
here's
as well.
A good point, by the way.
Yeah.
I took a cab back with Jaedong last night. We got to our hotel at
3
about
in the morning,
3 or 4, yeah. And he had to wake up and play a few hours later, 2 days after traveling from Korea to here. So it's kind of funny, too, because a lot of people, it was interesting, and I'll bring this up only because I saw enough people comment on it, and I like to be interactive with the community. They were saying, I'm really worried that since he's on EG, he'll travel too much, and they'll take Jaedong around and tire him out and put him in places where he's not being utilized to the best of his ability. I can tell you, rest assured, he is absolutely only going to go to the tournaments that we feel and he feels best suited for, which means not a lot of tournaments at all. So if he's at an event, just trust us for reasons that we don't necessarily have to go into, that a lot of thought and care was put into it, and that we realize that the best Jaedong on the planet is one that's sitting in Korea training, dominating Pro League, and eventually, every once in a while, descending from his throne, riding on a golden airplane adorned with human furniture to tournaments to slay heads and tear throats and dominate the world. So if you see Jaedong at a foreigner event, treasure it, because it's going to be few and far between.
Right on. And we talked a lot about, and we do it a lot. Talk about the amount of travel and how that can affect a player.
It's a different year. That's a subject that I can't wait for you and I to talk about on like an Inside the Game, because it deserves a lot of discussion. But you're not going to see the big Korean squads from teams going to every tournament. You're not going to see foreigners at every tournament. It's going to be much more of a like, oh, cool, who's at this tournament, as opposed to, oh, everyone's coming.
Yeah, which overall, like, should be beneficial for every single event.
Yes.
While it may not seem that way, well, wait a second, don't you want every single amazing player at every single amazing, no, not necessarily. Adding a little bit more exclusivity to some of the players and some of the stuff that they're actually attending and going to, I think it adds a lot. And frankly, as much as I want the tournaments to be populated with fantastic players, I've seen the effect that it's had on some players in 2012, and I think that's why exactly what you're talking about. More players are going to be much more conscious of that.
They burn out. They
burn out big time.
They get home. They don't want to practice the little practice that they've had because they've been traveling so much, and it hurts their gameplay. It hurts the interest in the game. But then also, let's be brutally honest, if you're guaranteed to see Idra 19 times a year at tournaments, there's not as much novelty there. It's really, really cool when he's been away training at the best places, doing what he does best in that regard, and then showing up to the 4 or 5 tournaments where it's like, oh my gosh, that's in my city, or I've saved up, I can travel to that. I'm going to go see that guy that you don't get to see as much. And I think that's really exciting. I think that'll be better for everyone, but also it creates competition within tournaments. If you're guaranteed to get players all the time at your tournament, the excitement of having players there kind of goes away. But if you're able to say, wait a second, what, EG confirmed Jaedong's coming to this IPL, this DreamHack? Well, then he's on posters, he's on commercials, they're talking about it, they're saying EG is confirmed with us, they're sending Jaedong, and that's exciting.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's actually get into the game. We're already seeing the first thing. So Jaedong, once again, with that much earlier gas than what we're seeing out of coL.Goswser, and coL.Goswser did send 2 Lings over. It looked like Jaedong was actually trying to block here. It didn't happen. So the result was coL.Goswser saw that gas again. What is his reaction to this? We only see a single spine going down, but he is going with this,
queens.
Heavy queen style. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a repeat, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I like this. ZVZ has a little bit of the element that like a PvP does, where information is king. If you know a guy has gas, if you see that spawning pool quiver, if you see the roach warren versus the Bailey nest, you're able to operate off of information that is absolutely essential to your survival or chances of winning. Whereas in other matchups, information is super, super important, and of course builds towards a better player in general. But like, let's say you see things like a command center at a certain time as opposed to not seeing it, you can say, well, I can pretty much guess what else is going on in there. But in ZVZ, the information's almost solely in the main, usually.
We got a lot of Lings coming out. We got a lot of Lings coming out here. There were 12. Now we've got 20 additional ones. The Baneling Nest is done. Baneling Nest was not scouted.
It's a Roach Warren for GhostUser too, so he's actually, like, he has nothing right now. He has a single Spine Crawler and some Queens. So
yeah, that Roach Warren's not done.
I mean, he's making Lings before Roaches too. He's not confident that his Roaches can do it.
Oh, and slow.
And it's Baneling
versus the Baneling. This could be really, really bad. Yeah.
It's just over, man.
Yeah.
You know, aliens. Game over, man. He's gonna pull up. This is not a drill. Everyone get the F out of that base now.
And there it is. Where the
boom.
That was a fantastic transfuse, but it's not enough to keep that door closed. Jaedong does make it in there. Only a couple more Zerglings remaining. And now the Roaches are out. So how many Roaches actually managed to get out? 3 Roaches managed to get out. Obviously, heavy saturation here in the main. Yeah. All the Queens, -1, gone. Even picking off a few more drones.
Well, I'll tell you what. Again, I'd be a fool not to.
Transfuse.
That was a really good transfuse. A pair of transfuses, to be honest with you, across the board. The decision to absolutely pull all of his drones and make a stand at the ramp with the Queens and Lings behind it, beautiful. GhostUser held that off as well as he possibly could. I was signed, sealed, and delivered on him being dead. But here he is, equal in supply. Harvester count, I can't imagine being too different, if not even in favor of GhostUser. We can check that real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
A little bit behind.
A little bit.
7 drones.
A little bit. And GhostUser, as far as he's concerned, he's not really skipping a beat. He's got Infestation Pit on his way. I mean, he did have to rebuild the Roach Warren. I guess that
it did go down. Okay.
Yeah, it did.
Double? No, it's Infestation Pit. Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, and it's almost done. So, where does Jaedong go from that? A lot of gas put in those Banelings, but not an awful lot. I mean, not a massive amount. I guess for early on, it did delay the lair.
Yeah.
And we'll delay some of the other tech going into it.
Well, he's got to be careful. I mean, if you look up there, production tab-wise, there's actually the Roaches are leaving right now. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm interested to see if GhostUser's queuing in on the fact that he has something like 15 Roaches out versus the 0 of Jaedong. I mean, this is actually kind of a scary opportunity in favor of Jaedong. Or, excuse me, is it just 7? Is it really just 7? Why did I see so much more? All right, I don't know.
It's just 7.
My brain's melting, guys. I apologize. I thought I saw a lot more, but that's not the case. Never mind. Jaedong's fine. You can make 7 Roaches. You basically poop those out. It's not even a problem. They just accidentally fall out of your butt.
Just accidentally.
Oh, no, 7 Roaches. But I wasn't near a toilet, damn it.
I found them between my couch cushions.
Yep, exactly.
We've got now, and there is no speed on the way, so Zerglings do get to take the map control here. Third base going down, and that could be a really good point of contention here for Jaedong to try to force a cancellation on that third base. You can see he wants to focus on the gas, taking those already, and that's going to go up basically very little. Ooh, Zerglings get a fungal and go down. Is he going to push to the third?
He might. I mean, this is that time last game where he knew that he had infestors before Jaedong with the way it played out.
Right.
And this time he's saying, well, maybe I'm in the same place, and this time I should actually capitalize on it as opposed to sit back defensively, and that's what he's going to do here.
All right.
In theory.
In theory. Here they go, going in to the third. He's got no way to stop these guys. I think GhostUser can do this. He's going to throw out the infested Terrans. All the energy goes into that. And Jaedong is going to initiate battle here. Right now it is +1 to the 0-0 Roaches. And that's going to be a great example to show upgrades and their effectiveness. But GhostUser with the additional resupply of Roaches is going to come up and be sit pretty good. I mean, obviously, Jaedong has the defender's advantage, but now it is pretty much gone. Waiting for some more Roaches to pop out, but on their way.
I think he will save the hash. He will clean this up. It looks like even some drones might escape out of this. Supply-wise, they're not too far off. You know, this is at that point in time again where I kind of admit I'm not quite sure how to commentate ZVZ still to this day. Like, I look at that and I'm like, well, this is over.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, I'm being completely honest. This isn't just like a JD fanboy thing, but I've just seen stuff where I'm like, how does he do that? You know, the lack of infestors early on, but the fact that he's, you know, been able to hold on. This, though...
it's going to get tough here.
This is going to get tough.
4 infestors about to pop out for Jaedong. It's just the timing that seems to be a problem here, because there's more than 4 infestors. There's 5 or 6 approaching here. And the roach count is high. That fungal, though, is gigantic. That actually hit every one of the roaches.
Every single one. Now the infested Terrans come out. The fungals are going to be chained together on the roaches from the bottom. All the infested Terrans now have been all but eliminated. Look at, yes, and you know, is he going to get those infestors? It looks like he gets one of them.
Oh, that clutch fungal that stopped him from getting it. Did you see that?
Yes.
Held him in the mineral line.
Saved it.
No go, and where a lot of Zergs, you just. So people didn't see us on camera, but DJ and I just both shook our head. He flipped his hand. It's like,
what? How?
So that happens to other Zergs. They're dead there. But Jaedong's like, nah, it's okay. I lost an infestor. That sucked, but the rest of it's fine.
And he hit that fungal just perfect. Like
yes,
you said, surface area was 100% on those guys. Chained them to the point where now they're just going to be very, very hurting. And I don't think Jaedong put himself in a position where he's like, well, no, I can just counterattack and win. But his third base now getting up as those gases going. I mean, if you compare it, even stopping larva production over here.
Love that. That's underrated.
We never see that ever.
People opt for changelings. I find that to be more effective. I like 2 or 3 overseers running around dropping that down on the hatcheries.
Versus,
especially at this phase. I mean, look at the money bunching up here for Ghost.Goswser, but he wants central control. So yeah, he's going to have a huge swell of roaches that come out because of that. But he's slowing. Jaedong will be cutting into his actual production. That's an amazing ability.
Right. And he's finally going to get torn out of there. Now he'll use the chain link. Right now, Ghost.Goswser does have complete map control with both of the towers taken. Roaches on both sides. On the southern tower, a couple of infestors there as well. And we are going to see that 4th base going down for Ghost.Goswser as Jaedong moves forward.
Yeah, grabs one of the towers for himself. He's going to go check the other one as well. No 4th base for Jaedong. It's going to be a little bit delayed on that. He's got more roaches, more infestors coming out. No Hydra's Den. 12 Hydras about to pop up for Ghost.Goswser. So in terms of army potency, he will have the advantage. He's got older infestors. I don't know if he has more. It looks like he might.
Let's check.
7 to 6. Not really a discrepancy there. But the Hydras do offer a big boost in terms of their overall DPS for that army.
So 4th base also for Jaedong.
Supply-wise, though.
Keep it things equal. Here are some roaches, though, heading over. Might be an opportunity to throw up some sort of a pronged attack. And where is he going to go? Oh, he might be able to get these Hydras from the back, and he does land the fungal. How much is he going to commit to this? The rest of the army going around the other side, and that was all free.
Position-wise, Jaedong did a great job there, but now he's getting kind of sandwiched. He's got to be careful. He's fighting on a ramp. That's good for him, but there's just more Ghost.Goswser showing up. Reinforcements have arrived. The infestors of Jaedong still have a lot of energy. Infested Terrans getting dumped by Ghost.Goswser. The concave seems better at the time for Ghost.Goswser, and it looks like he will rout him here.
Definitely. I mean, he's going to have to use fungals to try to stop these units from chasing. That's exactly what he does. Once again, Burrow coming in huge for Jaedong, and it's something we do not see, from Ghost.Goswser in these games. He's going to get that for sure.
He's going to finish that. His own 4th is being built right now as well. And with the low energy on the infestors, they don't have a fungal to stop them from retreating. That's a really nice play. And now, joining up with his burrowed infestors, this could become a big trap too, in case. Oh wow! Oh wow!
There's no.
Does it happen this way? No, not quite.
He's going to throw it out. Again, we're going to see some units from the back, but I feel like Ghost.Goswser actually has the DPS he needs with those Hydras. He's got
really does. A lot of Hydras.
16. He's got more on the way.
Yeah.
Now, with this real big lack of roach meat shield here, I'd love to see like a little transition maybe to some banelings. I know it's
You're crazy.
I know it's crazy. That gas could go somewhere else, but you know what? He's got Burrow. The detection for Ghost.Goswser is really light.
Oh, you like burrowed banelings. Okay, I was going to say, otherwise they just get fungled, right?
Yeah.
But burrowed's sick. I'll tell you what. You got my number. Give me a call if you ever see burrowed banelings in ZBZ and it just pops a bunch of Hydras, because I will just scream wherever I'm at. You'll just be like, I just saw it!
It happened! It happened!
It's the coolest thing.
No, I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't even consider it, but are there any overseers out at all for Ghost.Goswser? There's 2.
Aren't those blue roaches with the infestors right there?
What? No.
Okay.
No. You're crazy.
It's way more fun to commentate StarCraft with
All right, hold on.
Really
hold on, he's going for the Roach Warren. This is exactly how he's finished the other 2 games, Jeff. He goes in, this time he gets bungled, but he does manage to get a few Roaches inside the main. There are no more Roaches going to be on the way. And what is he going to go for next? Oh my god, he's got the upgrades right there. What's he going to oh gosh. Let's just eliminate production capabilities.
Yeah.
And he could burrow.
He could burrow.
And just be good. I guess coL.Goswser has that. There
it does multitask him though. Like he doesn't necessarily know there's one there. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
They killed that hatchery
Fourth
too.
gets picked off. Let's see if in the main he does find out about that. He's looking for an overseer now. There it is.
There it is. Gonna get all those guys. And that means that he's got to rebuild the Roach Warren. Got to rebuild that Hydrogen.
He's not even aware of the Hydrogen, or at least he thinks he can't afford it or something.
And supplies are even.
6 infestors about to pop out for Jaedong. So what he does is he basically instigates a fight, but then he bunches up his infestors and says, yeah, come at me, bro. Like the fungals, the infestarians is going to be sick. And it looks like he's just kind of watching from above. Oh no, coL.Goswser's actually looking to get a gigantic concave. And he might get it here. Here he comes.
1, 2, 3 infestors go down immediately. The fungals do come down, but not enough to keep them in place. Using that high ground well, the infestors, they've still got energy, but he's not using them. They're going to move forward. He's got to throw out those infested Terrans. Is he going to drop the fungals? But here come Jaedong's infestors as well, and again, he's going to be stuck without a ground army.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull back again, but his Roaches rebuild a lot faster, and he's going to be able to get away with that fungal. The Hydros are now at the front lines. They have to be careful. They do not endure fungals as well as Roaches.
No, not at all.
And that's why he's spreading them out and going down the ramp individually almost. Really good play by coL.Goswser.
And 21 more Roaches just popped for Jaedong. Now he's just going to go ahead, and he needs to use this energy to just try to, keep the defense of this base up. The unit's starting to thin out just a bit here. Yes, big flank.
Jaedong flanking here as well, buying his Infestarians time to get the damage in they need to. And coL.Goswser's pulling back, tucking tail down 30 supply. He's down a base. It's not made his Hydro stand again, so he's not. There it is, just now being rebuilt. And coL.Goswser has been handled and manhandled pretty much.
And look at this, the changeling. I think that drone was there for quite a while, man. Because I was just about to say that this is pretty much the base.
Yeah.
I mean, very little.
You know what's amazing about this too is Jaedong's not. We don't watch the series and go, oh, build order link. It's multitask. It's aggression. It's decision making and it's execution. He is engaging at the tops of ramps. He is pulling back when the Hydros outrange his lower range Roaches. He is finding holes in gameplay that other people would overlook because they're consumed by the taxation that is StarCraft. And Jaedong finds this game easy.
Jaedong doesn't hotkey his cleans.
I don't know.
No, he does hatcheries.
Huh.
Such a baller.
So good. No, it's fine. You can always talk about how good he is. Yeah.
All right, now we've got this massive army up to 200. I mean, we've seen the supplies actually even out, go to coL.Goswser's favor, then back to Jaedong, and now Jaedong with the distinct advantage. As far as infestors are, it's 11 to 13. But keep in mind with those production buildings getting taken down by Jaedong, and the fact that he's been killing those bases over and over, obviously can't fight into that ramp, but he's going to be able to throw up another base if he needs to, start building a bank.
Coming down the ramp. Well, Jaedong's backing away, so I guess it's very, very scary with all the infestors right there. Anyways, I'll say this too. You know what? We've been singing the praise of Jaedong a lot, but in each of these games, at one point or another, I felt like coL.Goswser was the guy that was actually leading, so big-ass tip of the hat to him, because he's standing toe-to-toe with what a lot of Koreans in Korea are calling perhaps the best Zerg on the planet at this moment in time, and certainly in the future. And he has not looked like he's out of his league. He's made this a series. It's been fun to commentate, and I'm excited to see what Millennium can do with him and where he goes with this.
No, you are absolutely right. I mean, you got to consider he lost the ability to produce any unit but infestors, and somehow, what has he done? Like, coL.Goswser has proved to me that, hey, I may be 2 bases down from you, but look at my ability to kind of keep up with you and make you question your decisions. A lot of it is the map, and coL.Goswser really, really working the map. I mean, Jaedong kind of doing exactly the same thing, like trying to set up fights inside the choke, but you're right. Like, 80% of Zergs, I feel like, just general, not even talk about the pro would have just like, oh, well, I'm done now, and that's it. And the fact that he's been able to stay alive, trying to keep this base back up, And, oh, this Roach Hit Squad coming
Standard.
back over.
And when he's maxed like this, he's going to have a really tough time responding to that because he now has to partition parts of his army off to go deal with that.
And he does have a few. Let's take a quick look at the upgrades. It's 2-2 to 1-2 right now, and we don't have a +2 armor on the way quite yet for coL.Goswser. And, I mean, is that surprising considering that he's almost been exclusively put down to 6 gas the entire game?
Yeah. That's amazing watching your camera work throughout this game, too, because it's actually like, what are they? Damn it. Changelings. Oh, my brain blinked on that. Or blinked on that, excuse me. There's been changelings all over the place. Jaedong has constant information coming in. He's got tower control, high ground control, but he also is keeping tabs on positions and saturations and just in general everything, to be honest with you. And it's a thing of beauty to watch. He's setting up his 5th base here now. Excuse me. coL.Goswser has relinquished himself to this 4th base. He feels it better and more easily defended, albeit more central, which means it's a little bit more challenge if his army's not there.
And just now we're seeing Jaedong put himself into Hydras. 2-2, yeah. Do we have? Yeah, Hive, so we should be seeing those upgrades coming up here.
A little bit miss on the Spire, to be honest with you. You should hit, like you can see his bank right now, there should be a completed Greater Spire if we're going to critique Jaedong. There's no reason not to. In fact, he's adding a 2nd Evolution Chamber just to round out that 3-3 upgrades, but if you're going to go Ultras, go Ultras, but if you hit Hive, it should not just be for upgrades, just because of how powerful Broodlords are in this matchup. It's insane.
We have the small group coming over here. Hold on. Some Infested Terrorists out here. Look at the amount of Infestors right now. It's 22 to 13 Infestors. Huh. We're about to find out, man. Can Infestors win you games right here? Oh, nice. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was actually a massive. He might be able to target down a couple more Infestors. He doesn't. Oh, one more. He almost gets him. He almost gets him.
Would have been
those roaches coming up there, actually.
I mean, he actually lost the 2 Infestors that instigated that awesome action, so kind of a just straight up wash across the board. They both sloppily lost 2 Infestors, mostly because they weren't paying attention. But that happens. There's so much going on. I mean, coL.Goswser was shaving off roaches and challenging that 5th base over there. Now he's just lobbing Infested Terrans up there. Not quite sure. Oh, he wants to go for it. Wow.
He does. Free throwing him out. Now the fungal's going down. He's actually got a pretty good shot here on this ramp. And God, the amount of energy on coL.Goswser's Infestors is rather insane. And Jaedong, who has had a pretty amazing lead all game. He's about to get his 3-3. He's just lost his entire army, and what's coming out after this 4 additional Infestors, 29 roaches, but God, look at the energy left on here. Like, again, oh, here comes the Roach Hit Squad once again. But again, you'd mentioned earlier about the fact that coL.Goswser is going toe-to-toe with Jaedong, and like, look at this. This is off of like 3 base, kind of. I mean, now 3.5 bases.
Wow. You're really good at this, actually. He is challenging your camera work right now.
There's
attacks everywhere. There's roaches at every single base.
There is so much going on. We've got these roaches hidden back here. He was attacking from up here. This base is most certainly going to fall. And coL.Goswser's making the right decision. He has to go for it.
And look at this. It's trapped. He has to go for it, but he can't.
Wow.
His Infested Terrans might win him the fight right here. It's really hard to call, but the fungals are just massive for Jaedong. They're pummeling the ramped army of coL.Goswser. Jaedong wants to improve to 9-1 today, defeating 3 out of the 6 opponents offered here.
I think coL.Goswser got it,
man. He's going to bust through, but he's used up his energy. If you look at the production tab and the spine crawl, I mean, it's just the supply difference is about the same. It's just positionally. Look at the pink bases versus the non-pink bases.
Yeah, more harassment inside the main, and again, once he's hit, he's got +3 attack, which is going to help him out. We've got a nice little infested trap in here.
Well, that's one of the ways you get back into this thing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, Jaedong actually usually has quite a few overseers. In fact, he saw it right there. He tries to put them in. But let's see what else we have got going on. As he's... Oh, man.
If you're not going to mind, then, well...
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of income coming out. Now, Jaedong pushes forward, going after those Infestors. Will leave those Infested Terrans behind, and they don't do a whole lot of damage.
He's got to be careful. He has the weaker army, and if you look at this, actually, that 4th base is almost mined out for Jaedong. So they're both actually in a low econ situation, and I'll tell you what, in that situation, if their supply is similar like this, it's all about infestor control and decision making. If you have them going around harassing, great. If they get picked off and don't do the damage you need, that could seal the deal in favor of your opponent. Or if you engage in a certain way, if your infestors are better than his, you don't get the rebuild. You're not making 25 roaches after this. You know what I mean?
And coL.Goswser has this over here. There's no detection. You know, the other thing, too, is that I got to give a shout-out to this map, because I feel like this map actually makes the ZVZ much more interesting. Now, I think the bait right here, if he could come in from the back, where'd those infestors go? It looks like they're going up to the north. He's looking for any additional mining bases that might exist, and he's not going to find any. Right now, coL.Goswser actually looking pretty good with this base right here. This is all that Jaedong has.
This could happen again. We could be talking about the past tense of coL.Goswser when, in fact, he's in a position where I feel like he's mining more healthy than Jaedong is. Supply-wise, Jaedong has a 5 supply difference, which it's just not, you don't measure in that way at this point. And it's going to come down to the decision-making and where they go from here. Those spine crawlers are a huge hurdle. You're not going to go through that, not in a low econ situation like this.
Yeah, I mean, you just be killing yourself here now. This base might end up being what determines the game. You know, if it gets down, actually Jaedong throwing down this base as well. So I think we're going to have another standstill. We're 36 minutes into this game.
And it was 36 minutes of action. Great play, too. I will not have a complaint. If every game is 40 minutes long, my voice will eventually give out, and I'll probably have to go into miming StarCraft 2. But hold that thought. Big fight here. Better concave for Jaedong. Infestarian gets up right and left. The earlier Infestarians of Jaedong could make a big difference here, but who the hell can actually call this? We're going to wait as it clears. No, there's more blue here than pink.
Oh, there is.
That's it. Jaedong's going to kill the 1 mining base with a 40 supply advantage. The Tyrant says, you know what? You played well, sir, but I am done with you. I need a new ball of yarn.
Oh, and they're going to go in there, get that Roach Warren. If there is any bank remaining, it's not going to turn into production here for coL.Goswser. This is about to finish up, but the fact that he now has an army just eating at the heart of production for coL.Goswser, I think Jaedong could seal the deal right here. But I'll tell you what, not without some like, oh, wait a second, coL.Goswser has
he's gonna have to go up a ramp though.
Back. Yeah.
He'll lose this fight too.
Yep, absolutely.
Jaedong is able to build more units. There's no gas. I mean, he's gonna win this fight too.
And there he goes. He can just turn around from there. He's working on that Hydralisk Den as well. We do see the Roach Worm being rebuilt.
With 17 unmining gas.
Oh
my.
Yeah, all those infestors that just stayed alive after that last battle.
Look at this. The collision too, because here comes, yeah. Oh no, those are Jaedong's too. Never mind.
No, they aren't.
No, they're not. They lobbed 2 Infestaterrans like, guys, I hate to do this to you.
And there it goes down. We do see we do see coL.Goswser doing everything he can to try to take on this one. We see the Burrow. Burrow played a huge part in this particular game as well. Finally, coL.Goswser did manage to get it, but not till far too late. And 31 supply. There it is. GG, but what a fantastic ZVZ.
That might have been one of the best games of the tournament, to be honest with you, so far. It was really back and forth. Again, I was talking about coL.Goswser like he was dead. Then he took a position where I felt like he had the place to win, but Jaedong is so good about his positioning. He is so smart about how calculated his attacks are, and he made it look like we were idiots.
Yeah, he did.
What was that?
I don't know.
It's like coL.Goswser's like, no, that'd be funny though. He's just like throwing tails. Like, I should have won. All right, anyways, great ZVZ. Hopefully you guys caught that. I saw someone tweet us last night, by the way, that they caught the VODs from day one. Don't forget, this is up on One More Game TV's VOD service, and you guys should watch yesterday if you missed it, but then today as well. It's recorded for your viewing pleasure.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break. When we come back, another game up here on the main stage, but we are getting closer and closer to that 3rd and 4th place match and the grand finals. One person will be crowned the winner of the Kingston HyperX 10-year anniversary competition for StarCraft 2 and win themselves a portion of that $15,000. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with more after this.